Hey, let me ask you something. Do you know your blood type? Most Americans don't, and here's why that might actually matter more than you think. Because right now, whether you feel it or not, your blood type is quietly shaping which diseases are already drawn to you, which organs are under more pressure than your neighbors, and which cause of death your body has been rehearsing since the day you were born. And here is the part that will genuinely shock you. The blood type celebrated as the strongest, the universal donor, the ancestral survivor's type, is the one carrying the most dangerous hidden flaw. By the end of this video, you will know exactly where you stand, what the peer-reviewed science actually says, and what you can do about it tonight. Let's get into it. Real quick, if you slept through biology class, here's everything you need. Your blood type is determined by tiny protein markers called antigens sitting on the surface of your red blood cells. 4 types: A, B, AB, and O. Plus, you're either Rh positive or Rh negative. That's the plus or minus after your letter. In America, type O plus is the most common at about 38%. Type A plus sits at 34%. Type B plus at 9%. And type A, B, the rarest, just 3 to 4% of the population. Here is the thing, though. Those markers don't just determine who you can get a transfusion from. Science is showing they influence how your body fights disease, forms blood clots, handles cholesterol, and even how your brain ages. Let's go blood type by blood type, starting with the one carrying the heaviest burden right now. Type AB didn't exist 1,200 years ago. It emerged when Type A and Type B populations, separated by thousands of years of evolution, finally interbred at scale. If you are AB, your blood is running 2 completely different biological playbooks simultaneously. That makes AB the most biochemically complex blood type, and the most medically unpredictable. A study published in Neurology, the Journal of the American Academy of Neurology, followed over 30,000 people across the United States. The result? People with AB blood were 82% more likely to develop the thinking and memory problems that lead to dementia than any other blood type. Why? AB blood produces significantly higher levels of factor VIII, a clotting protein. More factor VIII means blood is more likely to form clots where it shouldn't, including in the brain. That is a direct pathway to stroke and cognitive decline. Research published in arteriosclerosis, thrombosis, and vascular biology also found AB individuals face a 23% higher risk of coronary heart disease than type O. And large-scale studies have identified a consistent statistical link between AB and pancreatic cancer. Think of AB blood as a river fed by 2 tributaries with completely different chemistry. Where they meet, the current is rich, but turbulent. And over decades, that turbulence leaves deposits in places other blood types never reach. If you are AB, you are not sentenced to anything, but your cardiovascular health, blood pressure, and brain health deserve your full attention. Starting now. Travel to agrarian civilizations in Europe and Asia 15,000 years ago. These communities ate grains, cultivated vegetables, lived near livestock. Type A blood evolved as the immune system adapted to this new world. If you carry Type A, about 1 in 3 Americans, your blood is the blood of farmers. Careful, structured. But structured systems, when they break down in a very specific way. A Harvard analysis of over 77,000 individuals found Type A faces a significantly higher risk of coronary artery disease and heart attack than Type O. Here is the mechanism. The A antigen makes blood biochemically stickier. Type A individuals also carry naturally higher baseline cortisol. Cortisol triggers LDL cholesterol release, and under chronic stress that LDL oxidizes and embeds into artery walls. The beginning of atherosclerosis. You cannot feel it forming, but every decade it gets thicker. Multiple studies, including research from Tufts University School of Medicine, also show Type A carries a significantly elevated risk of stomach cancer, especially when combined with H. pylori infection, a bacteria that binds more readily to Type A cells. A 2023 study published in Blood Advances found the SARS-CoV-2 spike protein shows a direct preference for binding to Type A antigens, meaning COVID-19 gets into Type A cells more easily. The farmer's blood builds civilization quietly. It also accumulates its damage quietly. Move to the steppes of Central Asia, 10,000 years ago. Nomadic herders, extreme temperatures, shifting food sources. Type B evolved here, in some of the most adaptable humans who ever lived. But adaptability has a biological cost. The B antigen shares a structural similarity with certain bacterial surface proteins. This means type B immune systems can hesitate when encountering bacteria that chemically resemble the body's own cells. This is called molecular mimicry. The bacteria is wearing a disguise made from your own biology. A 2024 review published in BMC Medicine found type B individuals face a significantly higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes compared to type O. Research from a 5 million person study published in eLife also linked type B to higher rates of kidney stones. And cardiovascular research consistently shows type B carries an 11% higher risk of heart disease than type O. The nomad's blood was built to adapt to anything. The challenge is it sometimes struggles to tell friend from enemy. East Africa, 40,000 years ago. The humans surviving here could eat almost anything: raw meat, wild berries, whatever the environment offered. These are your ancestors if you carry type O. Type O has the lowest risk of heart disease of all blood types. Naturally lower LDL cholesterol. Natural protection against certain forms of malaria. The lowest risk of cognitive decline. For 40,000 years, this was a superpower. Here is the flaw. Type O carries roughly 25% lower levels of von Willebrand factor and factor VIII, the proteins your blood uses to form clots when you are cut or bleeding internally. Research published in Medical Hypotheses and confirmed across multiple studies shows type O has the highest risk of peptic ulcers and the highest susceptibility to bleeding disorders. Think of your blood's clotting system like a dam built to stop a flood. Every other blood type builds that dam with a full crew. Type O builds it with a quarter of the workforce missing. Under normal conditions, you never notice. Under trauma, surgery, or internal bleeding, the dam holds less. The universal survivor's blood, one critical vulnerability. It struggles to stop itself. Before you spiral, let's be real about something. As Dr. Mary Cushman from the University of Vermont said, your blood type is one factor, and a relatively small one, compared to whether you smoke, how much you exercise, what you eat, and your blood pressure. You cannot change your blood type. Here is what you can do. If you are type O, limit NSA, IDs like ibuprofen. They thin blood further and accelerate gastric erosion. Get tested for H. pylori. Prioritize anti-inflammatory foods. If you are type A, cortisol management is not optional. Sleep, chronic stress, and your LDL numbers are your 3 priority metrics. Request a full lipid panel at your next visit. If you are type B, prioritize probiotic-rich foods. Monitor blood sugar. Watch for recurring infections. They may signal immune confusion. If you are type AB, regular movement is non-negotiable. Omega-3 fatty acids directly reduce factor VIII overactivation. Cognitive engagement in your 40s is not a nice-to-have. And regardless of blood type, know your numbers. Blood pressure, LDL cholesterol, fasting blood sugar. These are the early warning signs your body is talking. Listen, here is what I want you to hold on to before you close this. You are not a victim of your blood type. Type O did not survive 40,000 years on the African savanna by being fragile. Type A did not build civilization by being careless. Type B did not cross the Himalayas by being weak. Type AB did not emerge from the collision of two worlds by being anything less than extraordinary. Every vulnerability you just heard about exists because something else in that blood type's history worked brilliantly. Your blood is not a flaw. It is a map. See you in my next video. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy.